Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Book Chat. My name is Nicole, and today our topic is going to be self-improvement. So it's the new year, and it's that time of year where everyone is making resolutions and trying to pick up new good habits. So I have picked a few books to share with you that I have found to be very helpful in the topic of self-improvement. So the first book that I'm going to share with you is entitled You Were Born for This: Astrology for Radical Self-Acceptance by Chani Nicholas. So for those of you who are on Instagram, you might recognize this name. She's a really well-known astrologer who's really famous. She has a lot of followers, and this is her first book. Astrology has been used as a tool for self-improvement for a really long time, and I found it to be a really helpful way to learn more about myself and gain a deeper understanding of myself. And right now, it's a really great time if you're interested in this topic because there's a lot of books being published. The author believes astrology has the power to make you feel truly seen and validated. So she guides you through what is called your birth chart so that you can understand the complexities of who you are and how to best work with them. So a birth chart is a chart that shows you where all the planets were at the moment that you were born. So you do need to know your time of birth, date of birth, and the place you were born. And I'll show you what mine looks like. I printed this out from her website. So the rest of the book is taking you through what exactly this means. And she does like to focus most specifically on the sun, on your moon sign, and what's called your rising sign. So this book is a really fun and interactive way to learn more about who you are. I definitely recommend it to those of you who are curious about astrology. What I love about astrology is that it helps us to understand who we are and gain insights into ourselves, and knowing ourselves more is key to learning how to make better decisions and take better control of our lives. Another book that I'm going to mention, but not get too in-depth about, is this book here. It's called Human Design: Discover the Person You Were Born to Be. So this will appeal to those of you who are interested in astrology. It takes the exact same information of your birth time, place of birth, date of birth, and it generates a chart for you. It looks like this. And this book works similarly to the last book that I shared. So it has you generate that chart, and the rest of the book just covers, helps you break down that chart, understand what everything means. Human design is just another really interesting way to learn more about yourself, and it's all about embracing who you are naturally as a person. All right, so the next book I'm going to talk about is called Atomic Habits, and it's by James Clear. So this book is extremely popular. It often has a long holds list here at the library. We have every version for you: the physical book, we have the ebook, and the audiobook. I read this book, listened to it as an audiobook, which I found is a really great and engaging way to read this book. One of the core concepts of this book is focusing on small improvements and the concept of compounding improvements. So the idea that just little small habits will add up over time and help kind of change your identity and mold you in who you'd like to be. And the author believes that your identity actually emerges out of your habits, which is a really interesting way of looking at it. So another one of the core concepts of this book is that the author believes that there are 4 stages of developing habit, and he takes you through each of the stages to help you develop your new habits. So the major points of this book are the compound effects, all the habit building techniques, and how to monitor and measure these new habits that you're bringing into your life. So like I said, I really enjoyed this book. I found it to be really inspirational and helpful, and I highly recommend it for those of you looking to bring in some new habits in the new year. So the next book I'm going to talk about is called Nervous Energy by Dr. Chloe Carmichael. This book is for those of you who maybe have a lot of anxiety, a lot of nervous energy, and you'd like to learn how to harness it in your life to help you move forward and conquer your goals. So the author believes that anxiety can actually be a source for productivity and fulfillment. So this book is directed at what the author calls high functioning patients. So that probably applies to many of you out there watching. So high functioning patients are those who can take care of themselves in every way. So mentally, financially, they can maintain relationships, hold down a job, but they have this anxiety that they feel holds them back. And so they're looking for help in that area. So the author mentions that a lot of these high functioning patients have a hard time finding therapists that can help them because their needs are more nuanced, and a lot of therapy can be kind of tailored to those who are in crisis mode or more of an emergency mode. So she kind of fills that gap for those high functioning patients. So in this book, the author offers 9 techniques to help you manage your anxiety. Each chapter is dedicated to a different technique, and she encourages the reader to skip around the chapters and just kind of read what applies to you in the moment. Each chapter includes a client story, a deeper look into the issue, and step-by-step directions for guiding you through her technique to address the issue. My favorite chapter was chapter 15, where she covers a technique called anchoring statements. So something that she experienced a lot with her clients was sometimes when you're in a moment of high intensity or high pressure, you tend to kind of go blank. Just kind of go brain dead, and you kind of panic, you kind of forget what to say. So she has a whole technique called anchoring statements. You practice them ahead of time so that when you're in this moment, you can kind of snap out of it, bring yourself to the present. For example, she had a client who had a panic attack during a meeting and was really scared that he was actually not going to be okay, physically okay. So she helped him create the anchoring statement of like, I am okay, I'm not going to die. And next time he was in a meeting and kind of panicked, he was able to say this to himself, bring him back to the present moment, and move on. So I really enjoyed that technique. I thought it was great. And I thought this book was really wonderful for those of you who are high functioning, but do have anxiety and just kind of want to learn how to deal with it in your day-to-day life. All right, so those are the books that I chose for you guys on the topic of self-improvement. We have a lot of books on this topic. We're happy to help you find anything you're looking for on this topic. And we'll see you next time. Happy New Year. Thank you.